Hello, this is Jessica with Books for a Purpose, and today I'm very excited because we are going to talk about promoting kindness through story time, through books. And when I became a parent, one of my biggest goals from the beginning was to raise kind human beings. But kindness is such a big topic, and it's really hard to break it down into all the things that make up a kind human being. So my favorite thing to do is to read stories with my kids and have conversations with them about the stories so that they see kindness from an outside perspective. Sometimes teaching through an outside perspective is easier for kids. So if something happens with my daughter, for example, I could say, do you remember when we read Llama Llama and Llama didn't want to share? How did that make his friend feel? And really quickly she can come to me and say, it made him sad, or Llama was mad because he didn't want to share. She identifies with them and she gets it from that outside perspective. So Anna Dewdney is the author of Llama Llama Red Pajama, and she has two books in the series that I love for this topic. The first is Llama Llama Time to Share, and the second is Llama Llama and the Bully Goat. And Anna Dewdney has such a rhythmic and beautiful way of writing that these stories are so fun to read, and I'm sure just as fun to listen to. So these are great books for teaching kindness. One of my other favorites is by Helen Lester, and these are the 5-minute stories, the laugh-along lessons. There are a ton of different 5-minute stories, but this one in particular is full of Helen Lester stories. Not all of them are, but this one is. And if you've watched the intro video, she's the author of Me First, which is my favorite children's story of all time. But Pinkerton is a pushy and rude pig that always has to be first. He's mean to everyone around him just so he can be first. But through a really funny chain of events, he learns that first is not always best. So with this one, you get, I think, 6 stories for the price of one, 8 stories for the price of one, so it's great, and they're all in one place. This one's fantastic. But today we're going to focus on a story called Chrysanthemum, and it's by Kevin Henkes. And Chrysanthemum is great because it has a little activity that goes with it. So down below I have the cutout that you can print out to go with this story, and if you'd like, you can have your child color it, give it a name, make it its own, make it personal and fun. And then as you're reading Chrysanthemum, every time somebody says a mean thing to her, you're going to have your child fold it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your child's just going to destroy it by the end of the story, and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to read a page just to give you an example. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect, and then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. "Hooray!" said Chrysanthemum. "School!" But when Mrs. Chudd took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. "It's too long," said Joe. So he folded it in half. "It scarcely fits on your name tag," said Rita, pointing. So I'd fold it in half again. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "You're named after a flower." We'd fold it in half again. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. So the story goes on, and they say more mean things to her, and of course she comes to love her name in the end. But every time somebody says something mean, we just keep folding it and folding it and folding it. And then when we're done, we unfold it. And we look at all of the wrinkles, which would be the hurt feelings that those words cause. And we notice that even though we may apologize or we may take them back, the wrinkles never go away. He'll never look the same. He'll never be flat again. These wrinkles will always be there. So I love this activity for multiple reasons. The first reason is that it gives a real visual. It shows the hurt of the words. It shows what it does. But it also allows kids to sit and listen, and they're listening for the not so kind thing. So they're paying attention, but they're also having to really think, was that a kind thing that she said? And they're having to really use some critical thinking skills to decide when to fold the paper. So the more you can get your kids involved in what you're reading, and the more activities you can do with the story to build on the learning, the more they're going to remember it, and the more they're going to enjoy story time. So check back for more activities to do with reading, and absolutely check out Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes if you're looking for a great story to promote kindness. Thank you so much for watching.